Welcome back, guys. Quick video today. Just picked up a new tool that I thought's pretty cool and wanted to show you guys. So I am talking about the new Klein Tools FLICKBLADE Scraper. So there's a few other videos out there about this, but I think they're missing kind of the biggest comparison, which is against the Toughbuilt scraper knife. That's really, tools on here are a scraper and a knife, and I would say that's the biggest competitor, at least in the US. We'll find one. And then we'll compare it to some other things that are kind of similar uses. This side we have more just cutting things, razor blades, some Klein, Milwaukee competitors, and then on this side, kind of some other scraper options you might be carrying or thinking about. So I picked this up at Lowe's yesterday, the day before. I haven't used it yet as a scraper. But I just wanted to go ahead and have this video, just some of my initial thoughts, and then yeah, compare these. So you have normal razor blade, and because this is Klein, you've got your little stripper cutout, which is kind of nice. And then on the other side, you have scrapers. So you fold this little side piece out, little wheel, spin, pretty satisfying. And then this one just has a flat blade screw right here. Don't love that. Wish they would have used X or something else in there. But it just takes a regular razor blade held in by that screw. And this is important, especially when comparing it to the Toughbuilt one, which I will say is more satisfying to use. This just never gets old. So satisfying. But one of the biggest drawbacks with the Toughbuilt one is that you have to use these special Toughbuilt blades. Now, I found a good deal at Menards a while back and ordered a ton of them. But basically, you could use these blades in a normal knife. They have the normal notches up top, but you have the center cut out, and that's what actually holds it in the knife for this specific one. I don't think any of their other tools use it, but you do need these specific blades. So if you're out and about and you run out of blades, you break a blade, whatever, you're going to have a hard time finding these. Whereas this new Klein one, put a regular razor blade in, and it's actually kind of cool. It holds, so it comes with three blades, one in the scraper, one in the knife, and it even includes one extra one in the side here. One extra one in the side. So this one stores an extra blade on it, and it's just a standard blade. And this one has no such accommodation. So you really, unless you're carrying around a pack of these, you just have this one blade. If something happens to that one blade, you're kind of completely out of luck. So other comparisons between the two, you have this one's obviously quite a bit smaller, about an inch and a half or so, and a little bit thinner. I will say it's still a chonky boy, but definitely significantly smaller than the Toughbuilt one. And then one thing though, initial kind of thoughts is with this being so much smaller than that, if you're putting this in your pocket, you're pretty much dedicating a pocket to it. It's big enough. You're gonna have a hard time reaching around in there for anything else. But this one's getting to the point where it is kind of small enough and sleek enough that you can carry it more like a knife. And I really wish they would have included some kind of clip on it because it's small enough you can fit in your pocket, but it's big enough that this would be annoying bouncing around. So even their other fast flick, so this is just the regular one with the screwdriver. This clip's not super huge, and if you're carrying this scraper, you're probably prioritizing scraping because otherwise you could carry a much smaller knife. And so I would personally have been okay with a clip right there or down here. Something where when you're scraping, the clip would not be in the way. And this is a pretty compact clip to begin with. And then, kind of maybe it's in the way a little bit when you're using it as a knife. But again, I think if you're carrying this, it's because you need a scraper. Otherwise, don't carry this giant knife. So I do wish they would have included a clip on there. That's kind of my one gripe. But I do really appreciate the standard blade usage. That's really nice. And then this mechanism to hold it in looks pretty simple. Whereas I have had some issues with this Toughbuilt one. It just has a little release here, and you can see mine's all marred up because after scraping a bunch of stuff, I had like a bunch of drywall dust in it, and I could not get the blade out. Like I had to mess around with this thing for like literally 15 minutes, trying not to destroy it to get the blade out. And so you can see I just pulled it out without even doing it. It kind of works, but I think whatever I did to just be able to get the blade out kind of messed up the mechanism. And so, well, I do absolutely adore being able to do this. This mechanism is definitely the weak spot on this knife for me. And so I think just for serviceability and long-term use, this one makes a lot more sense. So these are kind of just, size comparisons here. This is a Quinn scraper. Of course, you get some better, things you can do with it. This is going to be more comfortable. The Klein's a little smaller than that. It's quite a bit bigger than just kind of a standard cheapo scraper and quite a bit thicker. So again, if you really just need to scrape and size doesn't matter, this might be a better option for you. Although these tend to back in scraping too hard, whereas this is a little sturdier. So that's definitely a benefit of the Klein. A lot bigger than just your dollar store scraper, obviously. And this is the Klein. So they already have access to this clip. Again, I really would have liked it being on there. And at least have the option to remove it, but I would have liked it including it. And then in comparing to kind of just some other normal knives here that you might carry instead, it's a little bit bigger but not huge. It's a similar thickness. And then really as far as clips go, I just wanted to include this just to show an example of like a really thin line clip. They definitely could have included something like this. This is the micro tiny teeny Gerber razor blade. But the clip on this, I think, just to show, you can put a clip on there and it wouldn't take up a lot of space. And then just for fun, uh, Yojimbo. So yeah, overall, it looks promising. Again, haven't scraped a lot with it, but it definitely looks, quite a bit more rigid and durable than the Toughbuilt one. And I think this is, really the biggest competitor to that. So it looks promising. It was like 20 bucks, so I think it's a pretty good value as long as it lasts. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.